Hi, my name is Levi Williams, and I'm going to talk to you about how tattooing works. When you're setting up a tattoo environment, the first thing that you want to do is make sure that your environment is completely sterile and that there is no room for error when it comes to cross-contamination. Once we have a very suitable, sterile environment that is adequate for tattooing, the first thing the tattoo artist will do is grab a tattoo machine and set it up appropriately according to whatever tattoo he or she is getting. First thing that they'll do is select the needle size and the tube. There's many different kinds of sizes of needles, and there's many different sizes of tubes that fit each needle exactly. You don't want to have too much slop, so to speak, when selecting a needle, because you don't want the needle to bounce around. You want a nice fit that's not going to cause any friction when the needle is moving up and down in the tube. Once you have the appropriate tube and needle, you will slide and insert the tube with the needle in it inside the frame of the tattoo machine. The needle connects to what is called the armature bar on top of the tattoo machine. The needle, once it is placed on solid, will have rubber bands that go around the frame of the machine that pull tension on the needle. This allows the needle to be kind of slightly curved and bent so that the needle is actually uprooting against the friction that the tattoo machine is going to cause. Once the tattoo machine is set up appropriately, you're going to plug in what you call a clip cord into the tattoo machine. Now this will go directly straight into your power supply. There's many different kinds of power supplies. This one is a little more advanced. We can actually select the exact amount of volts that we want, the exact amount of amps that are being put out, and we can also control the duty. The duty is what allows you to tell what kind of resistance the skin is going to put against the needle. Everybody's skin is different, so this is a very important tool to have when giving precise and accurate tattoos. Once the tattoo machine is set up and the power supply is adequately set up for the type of tattooing that you're going to be doing, you're going to plug in what is called the foot pedal. The foot pedal is just an on and off switch. This is going to start the electrical current and it's going to stop the electrical current. Now this tattoo machine is a standard, what we would call old school tattoo machine. It's got the 2-coil machine. It's controlled by an electric current using magnetic coils. So once we activate that electric circuit, it's going to create a very traditional annoying buzz sound, but it's definitely a good sound to a tattoo artist. A lot of how a tattoo machine is set up is by sound and feel, but this is set up as a shading tattoo. This is not used for the line work, and that's about exactly how you want a tattoo machine to sound. Once you have that set up, you're going to be setting up your colors that you're going to be using. There's millions of colors of tattoo ink that you could select for the tattoo. The ink is then poured into these little ink cups, and when turning on the tattoo machine, you're going to be basically just dipping the end of this tube inside the ink cap, which is going to draw up the ink into the tube, and there's actually a little chamber inside the tube where the ink is basically just going to stay, because it's going to push a very, very small amount of ink with each puncture that the needle actually does. So with a tattoo machine that's poking you about 120 times a minute, this is kind of a useful little thing to have, this chamber, so that your ink is not being wasted, that you're actually able to put a good amount of tattooing in before you have to resupply and redip your tube into the ink. With the proper care that is used after that, needing paper towels, petroleum jelly, you're going to need a very important soap, which is called green soap. It's a pharmaceutical surgical soap that tattoo artists use to make sure that the environment of the skin stays completely clean. There's no room for infection. Once all of that is dealt with appropriately and the tattoo is done, the tattoo artist will often switch out tubes and needles throughout the entire process because many tattoos require different kinds of setups. But this is basically just a small gist of how tattoos work. It's a very simple idea that has become increasingly complex the more sophisticated tattoos become, but it's a very pastime traditional art of our country within the last century that has definitely come a long ways, and I hope you enjoyed this speech. Thanks.